Welcome to the Thicc and Spooky Ghouls Podcast, where we discuss all things strange, paranormal, and unexplained.
These episodes are live recorded on Twitch and cut to fit Spotify's format. If you want to catch us live, we do our podcast once a month on Twitch.
And then we're waiting for my lovely Meso to return. She is currently away from her desk, so you're gonna have to look at my face a little bit longer. It's fine. And then I have to talk over Jinja, because Jinja is so loud. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll make it work. Hello. Oh, well. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, no. Meso. Oh, there we go. There's something behind you. Oh, she's trying to find her headphones.
It's right behind me, isn't it?
It's right behind you, girl. It's right behind you. What is it?
It's right behind me, isn't it?
It's eyes looking at me. Make it stop. Keep staring at me.
I scratched myself. I forgot to. I usually turn off my camera when I go to get my drinks and stuff. I was like, oh man, that's just been staring at them.
He's just been staring at me. I'm just like,
right into their souls.
I don't want.
Oh, you're really not gonna like them, but we'll get into it later.
So, yeah, I was hoping they get something from Sasquatch because apparently, it's a biggish holiday where Sassy's at. So he actually knew more about it than I thought he did. He didn't really give me much feedback when I told him about it at all. Nothing. I told him I needed help with pronunciations. He doesn't respond to that message until we're setting up for a stream. He goes, "What did you need help with?" Apparently, he knew everything I was going to cover already. Didn't even give me a heads up saying, "Hey, I have some intel for you." No. He just made me do my research myself.
Damn you.
But okay, Birdie, what do you have for us today?
Amazing Birdie.
Alrighty. Well, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Dutch. However, the Dutch and a few countries around there, such as like Belgium, Luxembourg, Indonesia, Aruba, they had a bit of a problem.
Uh-oh. Story time.
So you see, way back, mid 1800s, peak of the Civil War, peak of the slave trade, peak of all of that going down, the Dutch were trying to teach their kids about Santa Claus.
Uh-oh.
And the thing is, Santa Claus was seen kind of like a boogeyman, because as the Dutch do, they told kids, if you're not good, he'll come kidnap you.
Those crazy Dutch.
Kids were scared of the church.
They know what they did. The kids know what they did. They know.
Well, you see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Santa Claus was in the middle of a rebranding.
Uh-oh.
Because, of course, here comes the church.
Oh,
So,
no.
they decided they were going to make
Classic.
Santa Claus from a man of the north into a man of the cloth.
Of course.
And the problem, you can't have kids being scared of the men of the cloth. Which, to be honest, they rightfully should be, but
Don't get me started on statistics, because my statistics would hurt some people's feelings. And
they have an insurance directly to deal with those types of cases. That's how you know it's that bad. Anyway, so these people were sitting there and they're just like, no, the kids are scared. They're scared of Saint Nicholas. They're scared of Santa Claus. And so everybody was wondering, what the hell do we do to make the kids like Santa again, right? Well, what if we give Santa what if we give Santa like a guy to hang out with, make him nicer. But problem, it's the peak of the 1850s, and most European houses, when they needed a servant, had
Mm-mm.
black people.
Uh-oh.
No.
So,
Uh-oh.
in the
No.
year,
Oh boy.
I'm scared. Okay, here we go. I feel like this topic's gonna.
in the year 1850, a book was written. A book type, sorry. In the year 1850, a book was written by a teacher from Amsterdam. That was that depicted him as a black Moor, which for those who don't know, is essentially just like an early like sub-Saharan statue of an African man.
Okay.
And the problem was that black Moor quickly became what we know today as Black Pete or Zwarte Piet, also known as Zwarte Piet, or Pit Hatam in Indonesia, or Sinta Piet.
Did
I'm
you
not
say?
even
Did
sure
you
if we
just say
can.
Santa Pete?
Yes.
Okay, can I? I don't know this topic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've
This
never heard of any of
topic.
that.
Oh no.
Now,
Okay.
it gets worse.
Oh God.
So,
I'm buckled in.
after they made a black man, essentially the image of this servant of Saint Nicholas, people started being like, oh yeah, no, Saint Nicholas just has a black dude who like kind of hangs out in the North Pole with him and like serves him and like makes him stuff and tea and stuff. And so
Excuse
eventually
me. If anyone is making Santa tea or hot chocolate or any food, I doubt Mrs. Claus will let anyone else do it.
there is no Mrs. Claus. Santa is a man of the cloth. He is forever a virgin.
No one touches that ween.
No one touches the naughty list.
No, there's always Santa and there's always Mrs. Claus.
Well, hold on.
You gotta take that up with the
gonna
Dutch.
keep going. It's gonna keep going. So essentially,
I don't like it here.
essentially a lot of the time back in the early 16th and 16th through early 18th century, Santa Claus was seen as controlling a demon. A chained demon who may or may not have been black,
Oh God.
but it was a demon or something akin to a demon, which is where we get what's it called, Krampus and stuff like that from.
And Bashnickel.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, exactly.
Bashnickel.
And Bashnickel.
Bashnickel.
However, because it's the 19th century and black people were servants, quote unquote. Anyway, they basically said, what if we changed all of these demons into humans? Then the kids will like them. Then the kids will understand that these aren't things to be scared of. It's just a light slap on the wrist, just a little bit of kidnapping.
Just a little.
So essentially what ended up happening was they eventually came up with this character, Zwarte Piet, who was shown in Saint Nicholas, who was shown in a picture from the 1850 book Saint Nicholas and His Servant, helping Saint Nick do his like paperwork and stuff and tidying up his like room. Well, there were a lot of Santa Claus songs sung back in the day, but a lot of them basically said that Santa Claus and his assistants would leave well-behaved kids presents, but punish those who have been naughty, and they might take very poorly behaved children back to their homeland of Spain in burlap sacks, where you'd be forced to work in the workshop for an entire year or longer, depending on your
Interesting.
child crimes.
Not the child crimes.
This is also,
This sounds very much like a mashup of elves and Krampus.
and this is also where they got the idea of coal or twigs being presents instead of actual gifts.
Mm.
Now,
Oh shit.
It's the peak of the 1850s. Actually, not even 1850s. It's 1845. So this Amsterdam-based elementary school teacher, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, published a book called Saint Nicholas in Zich Nicht, or in English, Saint Nicholas and His Servant.
Oh.
It is considered the first time a servant character was included in a printed version of the Saint Nicholas narrative. Now, the thing is, the servant, Zwarte Piet, wore a costume that basically suggested that he was from a different land than the Spanish Saint Nicholas. So so he wrote it in 1845, printed it in 1850, with different illustrations that made the costume even worse.
Oh Jesus.
It looked even more like a fool/minstrel costume.
Oh.
Now,
Oh jeez.
Pete went from being just a dude in a uniform, like a black dude in a uniform, and became the servant, and went from localized helper, who essentially signifies like a guy who comes up and helps, to a servant, somebody beneath him.
Right.
And it also established that when Saint Nicholas came to houses, Saint Nicholas and his boy Zwarte Piet, Black Peter, would show up, and they would eventually, they would show up, walk up, and Zwarte Piet would hop down the chimney to clear it of soot, and then down comes Saint Nick. Now, a lot of these books were in the 1850s and moved on into the 1950s, 100 years later. And so, essentially, even though the original author never named him Zwarte Piet whatsoever, the author wrote a handwritten note to a guy in 1850 who called him Pieta me nicht, which is just the night. How do I describe it? It's culturally, it doesn't really translate to English in a polite way.
Oh.
Oh Jesus. I see what you mean.
Yeah, it translates to a frizzy-haired black person, but without black person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Why?
That's fucked.
Mm-hmm. So then,
That's crazy business.
in 1833, the magazine printed a humorous reference to the guy who had snuck out of their houses to attend the year's St. Nicholas celebrations when they were supposed to have endured after returning home. And then in 1859, the Dutch newspaper De Gid, I don't know how to pronounce that, noticed that St. Nicholas was often accompanied by a who under the name of Pieta mir nicht is no less popular than the holy bishop himself. In 1891, they had Het Feest van Sinterklaas, the servant, where the servant was named Peter. However, up until 1920, multiple publications gave the character different names and depictions that varied a lot. Now, by 1863, the monograph was being used to record different recollections. And Jelko Velist went and recorded on a monograph Sinterklaas. One of the miraculous deeds performed by him after his death consisted of freeing a boy from slavery at the court of the Emperor of Babylon and delivering him back to his parents. No mention was made of his color. However, of course, over the course of the 20th century, we basically claim, like, people have claimed that he was a former slave that would have been freed by the saint because black people were the slaves. However, there's another version of it where basically Black Pete's blackness is a permanent layer of soot that he gets from going in and out of the chimneys to all the homes that he visits, which, come on now, that's weak. That's weak. That's some weak sauce. Anywho, the 20th century hits. It's in 1987. A lot of people start talking about Black Pete because they're seeing Black Pete show up in the Dutch version of Sesame Street.
Really?
In a
Oh, boy.
segment, Pino, the Dutch version of Big Bird, or Big Bird's Dutch cousin, learned that Black Pete can be interpreted as racist while talking to the Dutch Suriname, the Dutch actress and singer Gerda Havertong. Then in the late 90s, or then in the 1990s, there were several attempts to make a newer version of Zwarte Piet to the Dutch public that featured different shades and colors of makeup instead of the traditional black one. Model Dotsen Kroos later criticized Black Pete and said she was ashamed of the Netherlands because of the character while on the Dutch talk show Pauw and Witteman in 2009. Now we're getting into all of the fun part.
Oh boy, here we go.
So, I forgot to mention, one of the things that I forgot to mention is the fact that there is a essentially ongoing war with Dutch people over over Black Pete. You see, in the 2010s, lots of people across the Netherlands and a lot of people across the Netherlands and in other places began to use the traditional version of Black Pete in celebrations. Most commonly, the blackface version.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We're getting worse. We're getting worse.
Oh, I
Those
think
decisions-
I've seen
You've probably seen them multiple
some
times.
like parades or something.
Yeah.
with them doing this.
They don't do it in the parades.
They do. They have parades.
No, no,
I'ma
no,
get
no,
to
no,
that.
no, 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 no,
So-
no, 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 no.
There were so a lot of these decisions sparked protests, and there were a lot of violent incidents where pro Peter demonstrators, the ones who liked the blackface, and anti-Peter demonstrators, the ones who wanted to change the character or get rid of him completely, were fighting. In 2015, the Bienenhof
2015. You know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised with where we're at right now as a country. It doesn't surprise
opted
me.
to replace holiday displays featuring Black Pete with a gold-skinned version instead. Elsewhere, in 3 Dutch primary schools, they announced to alter the character's appearance in their celebrations. Nickelodeon in the Netherlands also decided to use a racially mixed group of actors to portray Peter in their holiday broadcast instead of white people wearing dark makeup. And RTL Nederland made a similar decision in autumn of 2016 to replace the characters with actors with soot on their faces. However, 2018,
Oh no, this is so
Oh, no.
close.
which, might I remind you, is not even 10 years ago.
Nope.
It's 8,
No.
actually. So, 8 years ago, several people of a production crew refused to work at Dutch broadcaster NTR's nationally televised celebration because of a decision to alter the character. Several Dutch entertainers have also continued to use the blackface character. Amongst them are singers Leon Kirgisman and Herman van Doorn, who released songs promoted with music videos featuring Black Pete portrayed by white people. In November of 2017, a group of anti-Piet demonstrators were prevented from going to a demonstration during a nationally televised celebration in the town of Dokkum after their vehicles were blocked on the A7 motorway by pro-Piet demonstrators. 34 of them were later charged and found guilty of blocking traffic.
Wow.
During the Internoct celebrations throughout November 2018, violent incidences took place in the cities and towns of Nijmegen, The Hague, Leeuwarden, Den Helder, Rotterdam, and elsewhere. In Eindhoven, anti-Piet demonstrators were surrounded by a group of 250 people described as football hooligans, who pelted them with eggs and shouted racist insults. A similar
God.
protest in Tilburg led to the arrest of 44 pro-Piet demonstrators. We're getting close to now. In 2019, it was,
Yeah,
it
it's
was decided
uncomfortable.
that the nationally televised arrival of Santa Claus, hosted by Apeldoorn, would feature only sooty versions of those characters. That November, a group called Kick Out Zwarte Piet were attacked during a meeting. Windows smashed, vehicles vandalized, and fireworks shot into the building they were, where the group was planning protests in. Where the group was planning protests in 12 communities that still featured traditional versions of the character. In June 2020, NBC and Netflix opted to remove footage of the character dressed as Zwarte Piet from the episode of The Office. Series creator Greg Daniels released a statement saying blackface is unacceptable and making the point so graphically is hurtful and wrong. I'm sorry for the pain that caused.
Wait. I've watched
I
The
never. I've been
Office.
saying
Hold
I
on.
haven't watched The Office.
I've watched The Office. Wait, what episode are you talking about? How come I don't remember this at all?
Maybe it was removed before you even saw it.
If I'm remembering, Dwight Christmas.
That's Belschnickel.
Nope, it was Zwarte Piet.
No, it was Belschnickel because that's how I learned about Belschnickel. Where Dwight dressed up as Belschnickel and he was hitting people with the twigs and
But was
giving
he covered
them
in blackface?
I wouldn't say he had like soot all over his he had soot on his cheeks and then soot on his hands.
That wasn't Zwarte Piet. That was Belschnickel.
Yeah, that's
Zwarte
Belschnickel.
Piet probably showed up in the episode as like a thing. Like they were just like, "Oh, this is the actual guy."
They might already cut it out. Yeah, but before you even saw
Because
it.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it before. That's why I'm kind of like, I've watched The Office. Like, me and Papa Corto were just talking about this. I've watched The Office, like, the entire series 15 times, like, nonstop. So for me, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't recall this. That's why I'm kind of confused.
It could have been in that episode. It was probably like a minor thing too, which is why they were fine cutting it. Because they would have taken down the entire
Yeah.
episode if it was like full.
Right.
Then during so we all remember 2020. We all remember what happened in
We sure do.
2020, and the man who couldn't breathe because there was a boot on his neck.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Docu just saw it.
Oh,
It was the same episode, but I thankfully have never seen it before. But apparently he brought his friend Nate in to play the other
Zwarte Piet.
Zwarte Piet, and I didn't know that until. But apparently they removed the footage in 2020. It was completely cut out of the show, and I didn't watch Office when it was like on TV. I watched it when I was in a hotel room, and it was on TV. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
I really want to watch the show, and then I started watching the show, and I've been obsessed with it since. I started watching it after they've already removed it, so that's
Yep,
why I'm
that's
like
probably
so
why you never saw it.
confused. I was just like, wait, stop, hold on, time out, hold on. This is my favorite show. Okay, carry on. Sorry.
Okay, so during the George Floyd, after George Floyd's unfortunate passing, national protests were had.
Right.
And in the Netherlands, the Prime Minister Mark Rutte stated in parliamentary debate on the 5th of June 2020 that he now understands why people consider the character's appearance to be racist.
Yeah.
Now he understands.
After years, now he gets it. In
You know,
August of 2020
sorry, us in the United States can't speak about shit right now. Like, we are
Yeah.
No,
we are
true.
embarrassed, you guys. We are so embarrassed for our non-American listeners. We are absolutely embarrassed about what's
Mhm.
happening right now.
In August of 2020, Facebook updated its policies to ban depictions of blackface on its Facebook and Instagram platforms, including traditional blackface depictions of Zwarte Piet. In October of 2020, Google banned advertising featuring Zwarte Piet, including suited versions of blackface. And then additional companies followed suit, amongst them Bowl, Amazon, and Coolblue, who each decided to remove traditional Zwarte Piet products and promotions from their services. In November of 2020, Vereniging van Openbaar Bibliotheken, a National Association of Public Libraries, also announced that they were in the process of removing books featuring Zwarte Piet from library shelves. Celebrations in Aruba stopped using the character in 2020 and the government banned him. Riot police were called to the village of Staffhorst after appropriate demonstrators violently attacked anti-Piet demonstrators prior to a celebration in November of 2022. That was 4 years ago.
What a weird fucking hill to die on.
A similar incident occurred a year later in the town of De Lier. Anti-Piet demonstrators were pelted with fireworks and eggs after pro-blackface demonstrators vandalized surveillance cameras and were later discovered to have weapons in their
Jesus.
cars, as well as hay bales and containers of manure set aside for further attacks.
Oh my god. Pro blackface. What a ridiculous. What? Oh.
There's
The
a lot
trip-
of things that are happening right now that I'm like, where did this all come from? And it's just like, it didn't come from anywhere.
wrong,
It's just
people?
been hidden. It's just been hidden so fucking well.
Yep.
Oh no, it wasn't hidden. It was always out there. You just had to know where to look.
Not to this extent that it is
True.
now. Not to the
Oh, it just
extent
got
that it
legalized.
is
That's
now.
all it did. It just got legalized. That's all that happened. But the betrayals of both Santa Claus and Black Pete can vary from region to region. Until 2020, the holiday was celebrated in the Netherlands and Seals, where Santa Claus was often portrayed by a white-painted actor who was accompanied by several others dressed as Zwarte Piet. Now, in the Netherlands, where this originates from, there was quite a bit of backlash during the 2010s. Where opponents argued the character was an insult to black people, while the pro-Zwarte Piet people considered him a harmless holiday tradition and an inseparable part of their culture. Yeah, way down south in the land of the traitor. Anyway,
Yeah.
outside of the Netherlands, the character received criticism from a large group of international publications in 2015. I apologize about that. My nephew wanted to come say hi. In 2015, the UNC, the United Nations Committee of Elemental and Racial Discriminations, wrote in a report that the character of Black Pete is sometimes portrayed in a manner that reflects negative stereotypes of people of African descent and is experienced by many people of African descent as a vestige of slavery, which it is, and urged the Netherlands to actively promote the elimination of racial stereotyping. An American writer, David Sedaris, critiqued the tradition in his essay 6 to 8 Black Men. And British comedian and activist Russell Brand spoke negatively about the character, dubbing Zwarte Piet a colonial hangover. In 2019, media personality Kim Kardashian even said that Zwarte Piet was disturbing in a tweet to her over 62 million followers on Twitter. Oh, the app formerly known as Twitter.
You know it's bad when Kim Kardashian's actually speaking truth.
Exactly. So then in 2012, during in Amsterdam, most opposition towards the character was found amongst the Ghanaian and Antillean and Dutch Surinamese communities. You know, the what's it called? The minorities. Yeah. Throughout the 50% of the Surinamese considered the figure discriminatory to others, where 27% of them considered the figure to be discriminatory towards themselves. Throughout the early 2010s, a large majority of the populace in both the Netherlands and Belgium was in favor of keeping it. Studies showed the perception of Zwarte Piet differed greatly amongst different ethnic backgrounds, age groups, and regions.
Right.
According to a 2013 survey, 90% of Dutch people did not think Zwarte Piet to be racist and didn't even associate him with slavery because most of them are whites.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Right. That's exactly what it
and
is.
were opposed to altering the character's appearance. In 2015, A study amongst children aged 3 to 7 showed they perceived Zwarte Piet to be a fantastical clownish figure rather than a black man. However, the number of Dutch people who were willing to change certain details of the character, for example his lips and hair, were later reported to be growing. Yeah, maybe get rid of the big red lips and the big frizzy afro.
Yeah, don't like. At least don't make him a fucking minstrel, dude. Like, what the hell?
By 2018, studies showed that between 80 to 88% of the Dutch public did not perceive Zwarte Piet as racist, but between 41 and 54% were happy with the character's modernized sooty Piet style, which I get. Like, yeah, you want to keep the character of Zwarte Piet? Okay, cool. Just turn him into a sooty white dude. There you go. However, that was only 51 and 44 and 54, like 41 to 54%. Just under to about half. Others considered to make the case that he was still racist, though, due to the extreme undertones that plays. Amongst them, Zwarte Piet was a subservient slave, and that the tradition enforced racial stereotypes. During the Black Lives Matter demonstrations in the Netherlands, people continued to stop liking Zwarte Piet. In a 2020 survey in June, it saw a drop in support for the character's blackface depiction. 47% of those surveyed supported the blackface, compared to 71% compared to the 71% in a similar survey held in November of 2019. However, a December survey in 2020 revealed that 55% of those surveyed still supported the traditional appearance of Zwarte Piet, while 34% supported changing the character's appearance and 11% were unsure. The survey reported that 78% did not see Zwarte Piet as a racist figure, whereas 17% of them did. The most frequently mentioned reason for those who were in favor of changing the character was to put an end to the discussion. They didn't
even care. They just want everyone to shut up.
Yeah. Now, we've gotten kind of to the modern day. Right now, Zwarte Piet is still very highly fought over. However, as it stands right now, basically he's slowly disappearing from most like really like high money areas, because they realize, hey, being racist doesn't pay, except for in America.
Yeah.
And essentially they still have their traditions. They still have what the traditions are, but there are more people going into the more sooty-faced style rather than the blackface, which is good. However, let's talk about the traditions, and then I will finish up with where you can find Black Pete in media. Zwarte Piet is normally a part of the annual feast of Saint Nicholas, which is celebrated on the evening of 5th of December, which is also known as Saint Nicholas's Eve in English, or Sinterklaasavond, or Saint Nicholas Eve. In the Netherlands, Bonaire, Curaçao, and Aruba. This is when presents and sweets are typically given to the kids. The holiday is celebrated on the 6th of December in Belgium. However, it's Belgium, so Zwarte Piet characters normally appear only in weeks before the Feast of St. Nicholas. First, when the saint is welcomed with a parade as he arrives into the country, generally by a boat, having traveled from Madrid, Spain. He then goes and tasks Zwarte Piet to amuse kids and essentially give out hard cookies and like cakes. That's in the Netherlands. In Belgium, he gives out tangerines and speculoos, which are essentially a biscuit. Just cookies and tangerines.
Interesting. That's random.
Yeah. and other Santa Claus themed sweets to those who come to see the saint as he visits schools, stores, and other places. Now we are currently going to move on to where you can find it in media and stuff like that. You can find it in Santa and Pete, the 1998 novel written by Christopher Moore and Pamela Johnson, which is a Americanized version of Zwarte Piet, loosely inspired by the folklore. It was then turned into Santa and Pete, the movie, made in 1999, starring James Earl Jones. Pete is played by Flex Alexander, who is a black dude, and portrayed as St. Nicholas's partner rather than a servant. In The Office, in White Christmas, he did show up. He was played by Rainn Wilson, which originally aired in December 6, 2012. In it, he dresses as Zwarte Piet following numerous protests and accusations of racism. They removed the original 2012 version and cut it out and posted it again with a new one where they cut out the entire scene where he's supposed to be there. He also shows up in the 2014 Robot Chicken episode, Cat Dog on a Stick. Dutch comedian and political commentator Arjen Lubach covered the controversies of the character during a 2017 segment on his television program, Zendog met Lubach. And characterizations of Zwarte Piet were featured in the third season of the American drama series Atlanta in 2022, while Alfred, Brian Tyree Henry, and Ern Donald Glover are on a tour of Amsterdam. They encounter multiple people in blackface celebrating the feast of St. Nicholas.
Oh, Jesus.
And that is all I know about Zwarte Piet, one of the holdovers of slavery in Europe that people don't like to talk about because it's not cool.
But I want to say I'm surprised, but with that region, I'm really not.
I don't like it. I don't like that I learned that this thing existed, and I don't like that it still exists. But what can we do? I learned something new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sad right now. I mean, I've been sad all day, so that just tops on that. But it just shows.
It was interesting in like one of those ways where it's like that's fucked up. I can't it's interesting the way like I can't believe that people are still defending that. Like it's so strange to me. Like even back then, like it was never okay, obviously, but like to be holding on so tightly to something so ridiculous, like and blatantly racist is crazy.
To not see that it's racist is what's crazy to me. Is to not understand
not to see the problem.
Like to not see that it is a racist situation. Like to not see that it's a racist character is kind of Well,
and it's not even just that. Like, I feel like a lot of people do see that they just don't care and or are racist. So they're like, I don't care. I'm fine with that. Like, that's wild.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
I had never heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that, Birdie. Merry Christmas in January to Birdie, and thanks for bumming me out. Man, I was already bummed.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bum you out,
now I'm just really bummed out. But at the same time, I learned a lot of things.
The damn Dutch, man.
I mean, if you want something to cheer you up, you could look up the scene where Donald Glover is just like, bro, what the fuck?
I'm surprised because Belschnickel was one of my introduction to Belschnickel was through Dwight. And I actually really enjoyed Dwight's Christmas. Like, I enjoyed that episode, and for me, I was really taken aback that character existed in that episode because I never saw it.
Yeah, I'm very surprised they would have had that in that show.
Me too. Like, oh man.
That wasn't that long ago. I can't believe they thought that was okay.
No, hold on. Hold on, because I was in high school when The Office was on TV, so hold on. It came out in 2012, Dwight's Christmas. 2012, that's...
I feel like that's still old enough to be like, that. Yeah, that's not appropriate.
I'm just surprised by it. And I'm thankful that the person acknowledged that it was like an offensive character, and I'm
and
thankful
cut it
that they
out and
removed
stuff. But
it.
yeah,
But damn, wowza.
that's
Well,
super fucked up.
well, we learned about a new character that I've never met called. I'm just gonna call him Santa Pete. Can I call him Santa Pete?
Yeah, you can call him Santa Pete.
Or Santa Pete. Yeah. So we learned about.
I can't pronounce that.
Santa Pete or Schwetch Pete.
Zwarte Piet.
Zwatch. Wait.
Zvat.
Oh, Zvat Pit.
Yep.
Yep.
Not a fun character.
Nope.
The only reason why I knew about him at all was because when I was 12, it was around the original time when they got rid of him on that episode. When I was 12, I was just scrolling through YouTube, unmitigated, unwatched, as a normal 12-year-old child should. And I came across a thing that was just like, bro, blackface in Dutch? Like in blackface in the Netherlands? Oh my god. And they're just like, this is Zwarte Piet and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, that's fucked. I was
That's
just like,
fucking crazy. That's wild business.
that's messed up. For real, for real.
It's also
And then I
interesting
moved
that we
on.
have a different
Truly.
perspective because of the fact that we can see it now. Like back, like, you know, we were kind of educated in it, and so we're a little more aware of things like that, and we're just like, oh, well, I guess not as aware as I expected with how last year and this year's going. Maybe we didn't fucking learn.
I think
Oh,
no, I
God.
think the issue, I think within America, at least until recently, it wasn't necessarily that it was gone or anything. It was just more shamed, so people hid it more, or like, nestled. It was still prevalent. Obviously, there's still plenty of issues, but now it's just more emboldened.
It's come out.
And in the Netherlands and stuff, yeah.
I've
In
lost.
the Netherlands and stuff, they are definitely less. How do I say this? Racially ambiguous.
Yep.
Very heavily white. The slave trade was super heavy from the those regions from the beginning. I want to say the Dutch started the mainstream slave trade, but don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I looked into the history, but so it didn't really surprise me.
I'm thankful that I had such a cheerful topic, man, because fudge. Like, I'm glad that I had it, because oh man. Oh man. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna run a quick ad real quickly and switch over to Meso's topic next. So give us about 3 minutes, you guys. We're gonna run a quick ad.
It's gonna be a roller coaster.
And we're gonna go from, really cute elf on the shelf to very much like spiritual imbok to racially charged Santa Pete, and we're gonna go into the gore and horror. So we're taking you guys on a ride today with this episode.
Love it.
We went from bright to
Thank you,
dark,
Birdie.
like
Appreciate you being here.
horrific.
You're
But
welcome.
thank you,
Yes.
Birdie. I appreciate that. Thank you for educating us in that. I am happy that I'm aware that exists, and only way to get better is to be aware. So we gotta be aware and pay attention.
right.
And like I personally don't believe like people that say, "Oh, I don't see color." I feel like no, that's not the way we should go about this world, because
No.
no.
Please see in technicolor.
You have
actually.
to see in color and understand the difference of how people are treated. I feel like it's important to be aware of that in that aspect, so you can see that, but let's go ahead and take a quick break, you guys. Give us a 3-minute break. We hope you enjoyed that topic, as hard and surprising as it was. I think it's good that we learned about it. So let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're still waiting for Birdie and Meso to return. I hope you guys enjoyed those topics. We hope you learned something new. I hope you guys are enjoying our company so far. Thank you for everyone that's hanging out, listening to us talk about these things. And again, thank you for being here with us. We are moving on to the spooky part of the podcast with the beautiful
Spooky.
Meso Thorny. How are you, my dear?
Oh, I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. It's well as good as we can
Sleepy.
be. As good as we can.
Well,
be.
wonderful now. But I say I'm wonderful now that I get to be doing my little podcast with my
It's-
favorite ladies.
It's been a hard day. I've been.
It's been a hard year already. It just started, dog.
That's true. But today, in general, I was seething with so much anger today. Like I just felt my anger.
Yeah.
I felt all my emotions today, from anger, disgust,
Yes.
furious. I've been upset.
Having deep empathy
Sucks.
sometimes not sometimes, a lot of times it's very exhausting. I understand that.
Yeah, it's rather rough.
Yes, it's a good
here
thing
we
to
are.
have, but it also is very taxing
I mean, it's important
because
I
like a lot of
know.
times it's like what can you what can you do a lot of times besides just feel that, and it's like it's heavy.
Yeah,
It's
we don't. Yeah, I just don't have the spoons for it at all. Like I generally just
I
don't
feel
have the
that.
spoons for it. Birdie's back. There she is. Hold on.
Birdie!
Let me move. Oh
I
shit.
returned.
There's our burb.
My miso's hidden. Sorry guys. We're fixing it. We're fixing it. I was waiting. I was
Surprise.
stressing. I was mad stressing. Hold on. Where's Lilith? Lilith over here.
Mad
Sorry it took me
stress.
so long. I had to
It's okay.
No, you're fine.
I had to get summoned to do other things. And
That's
I had
fair.
to put those things on hold.
The burb was summoned.
That's fair. Thank you for covering your topic. We were just talking about what we just discussed, and now we're going to move on to the spooky part of the podcast, which our favorite spooky ghoul, who knows all the spooky things, is the lovely Meso Thorny, who, she always
I was gonna
brings
say,
the
mine's
funny or the
great.
spooky.
Yeah, one of those.
You can tell that we have completely different personalities here, but that's a good, like, we're similar but different. See, we
But
have
they mingle
differences.
so well.
but
Exactly.
we blend really well with each other, so it's a good time. Can't believe we've been doing
Exactly.
this for over 2 years now. It's insane. Hello, Jonathan. I'm glad that you're enjoying this.
Hey, same Jonathan. It's also negative. It's -3 here is what it says.
Oh,
Well, it feels like
Jesus.
-3.
That's crazy.
And the snow's starting to pile up out there. It's not too bad yet. It's less, I would say it's a little, we're not supposed to get the most of the snow until tomorrow. So they're predicting up to 12 inches to 18 inches in some places where I'm at. So I'm like, oh God, please no. None of that, please.
No. Like,
I don't think my
me
roof
and-
can handle that much.
Like, I've been like, it's been so cold. It's been so cold. And then I think about everybody else.
Let me see what it tells me.
That's not in California. And I'm all like, I can't complain. Shut the fuck up from California. Just shut the fuck up from
Let's see.
California.
You and your fucking warm weather. Must be nice.
Must be nice. Oh man.
Let me see if I can find that real quick. My weather app isn't telling me that off the jump. Wind chill. Let's see. Oh, that's what that is. Yeah, it's -3.
All I know
What's
is
the wind chill?
glad
If
my
I'm reading that
beautiful.
correctly.
I'm glad that my beautiful waifu is in a bundled hoodie.
Yes, and I have multiple blankets on my lap too. My cat is on the couch right now, just covered in blankets. We're all just we had to staple gun a blanket to the front door to kind of like insulate it some more. It's been a mess.
Oh my gosh. And you guys are still in the same
Yeah,
place,
it was
so oof, that's
yes.
insane.
Hopefully we'll be moving in July. Fingers crossed. Somewhere that has central heat. That would be so cool. I love that because let me tell you what, it is literally painfully cold to go into like our kitchen to cook and stuff. Impossible. It's so cold.
So
like
how do you
your feet
guys
start
do you
hurting
guys
and
have a
stuff?
space heater right now? Is that what you're using as a space heater?
Yes, there's one right behind me, and then we have one in the bedroom. We have one in the bathroom. So we have 3
my
space heaters on
gosh.
right now. Yeah.
Do you have like
And then our kitchen doesn't have one.
do you have electric blankets to help warm you? It's so cold.
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Although I would like one. I do need to get one. My cat would probably fucking love that too.
an electric blanket.
But we have lots of
yeah.
blankets in general. Yeah.
But
I have
no,
a heating pad. Sometimes I'll throw that bitch on.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, stay warm.
But I was
My
telling
dear.
him next year, if the power, especially if the power goes out, like they're predicting a lot of power outages where we're at, going into tomorrow because we're supposed to get so much snow that's going to take stuff down. if that happens, even if it doesn't, I think I'm going to invest in a oil heater for emergencies. That way I can have heat without power. Because all our heaters are electric. So if the power goes out, we are fucked.
Yeah, Jonathan says that he's
So,
got negative 23 wind chill.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So cold.
Yeah,
Just stay indoors.
being outside is not a pleasant time. Yet indoors.
So, what
But yes.
do you have for us, my beautiful waifu?
So as you said, I'm bringing the spoopy again, and I really enjoyed last time we talked about SCPs. It's something I'm really interested in. You know, they're internet mythos. They're not based off of anything necessarily real. They're not like, you know, like our cryptids or anything like that, but they're still really creepy. They're really fun, and I love that. So today I'm covering another SCP, which if you haven't heard my first SCP episode, I kind of go over what that is and the different SCP classes. And you should go check that out on our Spotify or YouTube. Wink, wink. You know, get over there and wink. Go check out that episode and some other ones maybe. But so if you haven't seen that episode though, one, go watch it. Two, an SCP stands for Secure, Contain, and Protect. They're essentially different kinds of creatures or objects, even locations that are... I don't know how to describe them. They are fucked up or mysterious or anomalous. Anomalous is the best way to describe it, I think. But this SCP is a Keter class, and the Keter class is assigned to subjects that both display vigorous, active hostility to human life, civilization, or space-time, and are capable of causing significant destruction in an event of a containment breach. And again, just like my last SCP, a lot of times when I do my research, I will obviously like kind of write things my own. And this one, I do that, but I kind of take more word for word because it's the way they're written. It's very report like document government docus type stuff. So it's a little more copy paste, but I do kind of mix it up a little bit. But anyway, this SCP is SCP-4666, aka the Yule Man. And if you think Krampus is scary, this motherfucker is on a whole nother playing field. The Yule Man is believed to be a single individual specimen who has lived an unnaturally, exceptionally long life, and its origin, like many SCPs, is unknown. The Yule Man is between 6 to 7 feet tall. He looks like an elderly male of European descent with an extremely emaciated appearance, and the entity always appears completely naked. Naked. Even when observed outdoors in freezing weather. Doc, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the couple of pictures I sent you. He's also behind me. It's my background. That's another depiction.
The one that was staring at me?
Man.
Yeah, I saw
this
him.
guy.
All right.
This
Look
guy?
at my really
This guy.
happy elf pets. My really, really happy elf pets, too.
Now look at this nightmare.
So that's one of them, which is a guy in the middle of a snowfield.
Yes. And this picture will make a little more sense. That first picture will make a little more sense once I start describing him, but that's him lurking.
Oh, he looks like Krampus in a way. Those hands are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I would not want to see that through my skylight. No. Thank you. That's creepily adorable in a way. Like, it's kind of cute. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think that's pretty cute. It's the big eyes. The big eyes got me, guys.
The big eyes get you?
The big eyes.
So if you're just listening, he's essentially a white, very long, skinny, emaciated to bony, kind of starved-looking naked man, but with ginormous eyes and big clawish hands. Sometimes he has hooven feet and like almost Santa Claus-ish features in the face, like sometimes a beard, sometimes he's like wearing someone else's beard. just depends on the depiction you see of him. But either way, he's a kind of a nightmare. Kind of reminds me of the Rake,
but with Santa Claus's face.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of cute, and his face is literally covered in blood, and his arms are covered in blood, his legs are covered in blood. And to top this picture off, it's so cute. He has a goodie bag with blood dripping all over it, with a bunch of severed hands, I think.
Limbs, yep, just limbs galore, just sticking out of there.
But still kind of cute. I'm so confused. What is happening to me? Oh no.
We have very different definitions of cute.
The key to most scary SCPs that eventually break into your house is big, lanky white man.
Yep, that there is a connection. But yes, so that's the Yule Man.
I'm drinking to stop myself from talking about that one. Carry on. I'm just like,
yeah, certainly nothing related to real life. So the Yule Man appears to have instantaneous or near instantaneous travel to any location north of the 40-degree latitude. So any location at a latitude greater than 40 degrees north of the equator, and possibly any location on Earth. The Yule Man is active exclusively within a period of 12 consecutive nights every year, from the night of December 21st through the 22nd to the night of January 1st to 2nd. This is a Yule Man's active phase. This phase is referred to, I'm going to say this wrong, Waist-snatch events. In all known Waist-snatch, I'm probably saying that wrong. Don't come for me. You know I can't pronounce things. That's part of my charm. Get over it. In all known Waist-snatch events, the dwelling in which the Yule Man hunts have shared the following characteristics: isolated rural locations.
What is it called? Witch snatchers?
Waist-snatch. Wisssnacht. Waist-snatch?
Okay, so in German, it's knock. It's Weissnacht. W sound like V, and then that's knock. So it's Weissnacht.
Probably.
It means white night.
Usually I do a good job of looking up pronunciation, but that makes sense.
It's
white
German.
Night makes sense.
It's
Weissnacht.
Weissnacht. It's knock. It's
Weissnacht.
Like the CHT sounds like a CK in a sentence. So knock.
Weissnacht. Something like that.
Yeah.
Weissnacht events. The dwellings in which the Yule Man hunts have shared the following characteristics, which this is going to kind of explain that first picture a little more, which if you're, again, just listening, it was a man standing in the middle of a field outside of a home at a very far distance, and there was Christmas decorations outside the house. But he's just standing there menacingly. But the characteristics are isolated rural location, home to a family with at least one child under the age of 8, and situated in an area with snow cover lasting throughout the duration of the event. Weissnacht events, I wonder if I said that a little better, consist of the following progression. Nights 1 through 7. Children will report seeing the Yule Man in the vicinity of their family home. The entity will typically be observed watching the dwellings from a distance, such as across a nearby field, which first picture, or from the edge of a neighboring forest, which, oh dear God, that would be a nightmare. In some cases, children will report waking up at night to find the Yule Man watching them sleep through a window. Nights 8 through 11. Family members, including the parents, will report sounds of footsteps coming from the roof or attic. An extremely unpleasant odor will also frequently be noticed inside the home, with no cause for these incidents being found. As a result, parents will often begin to suspect that their family is being stalked, or even that their house might be haunted. On night 12, over the course of the night, one of two scenarios will occur. The first and most common is that Yule Man will kill all members of the family except for one child under the age of 8, whom it will abduct. The Yule Man will inflict incapacitating injuries to the family members while they are sleeping, and then herd them into a single room of the dwelling where it will proceed to kill them in view of each other. The method of the killing varies within the event and will typically be preceded by some form of torture, which appears to serve as a ritualistic purpose. In the second scenario, which has occurred in roughly 15% of the Weissnatch events, Yule Man will not harm the family. Family members will report hearing footsteps inside their home during the night, though no signs of forced entry will be found. In the morning, children will discover presents at the foot of their beds. These will consist of toys cruelly crafted from the remains of other children. The logic behind the Yule Man's decision, yeah.
That is so messed up.
That tracks.
That's like
That
some
tracks.
Jack Skellington shit, man. What? Okay, that's
So
crazy.
he makes gifts. He makes gifts out of children and leaves them for children.
So arts and crafts, got it. He's really crafty.
He's a crafty
All that
fucker.
Tiny Tots daycare.
So the logic behind the decision that the Yule Man makes on which way to go in the event of the Weissnatch is unknown. So they don't know why he decides which way to go, like full-on murder, which the first scenario where he kills everyone in the family kind of reminds me of that movie Sinister.
Sinister?
I
don't think I've
have you
watched
seen
it.
Sinister?
No, but now I kind of
Ooh, that's
curious.
a good one.
I think we should.
It's spooky.
When we get a movie night again, we should do it. Like whenever we can.
Yes,
you and I
that
can
one
plan
is
a movie night.
that
We'll
is
watch
an
it.
actual and I like scary movies are like my jam, and that one's actually very unsettling. It's very unsettling.
I mean, May was very
Sinister's very
unsettling.
good.
I forced people to watch May with me,
Oh,
and people
love
hate
May.
it. I love it so much, though. It's so
I love
freaking messed
May.
up.
Yeah. Of course, there's a train. So he always wants to be a part of it. The Yule Man was first detected in 1974 through the Foundation's newly implemented anomalous signature recognition program, when several highly similar home invasion incidents resulting in family deaths were found to have occurred throughout the Northern Hemisphere during the nights of December. My notes cut off there. What is that? 1 second. 21st through January 2nd. Research into civilian and law enforcement archives worldwide eventually uncovered evidence of probable Weissnatch events for nearly every preceding year going back to the late 18th century. Average of 3.1 known events per year. Numerous historical documents were also found which appear to describe SCP-466, or the Yule Man, activity occurring prior to this period. In some cases, as early as 2nd century AD in Europe and Russia, and as early as 1st century BC in Scandinavia. Fingerprints belonging to the same humanoid entity have been discovered at all the locations. At the locations of all Foundation investigated Weissnatch events. These have been matched to a partial fingerprint preserved in dried blood on a recovered SCP-466A instance dating back from 1873, which a SCP-4666A instance is like one of the toys made by him. So when the human body's manipulated.
Hold on. He's SCP, which one is he? SCP...
4666.
4666. That's who the Christmas guy is. And then he made another SCP.
Yeah, the Yule Man. So that's what they refer to his creations as, like his dolls and shit, is for SCP-4666A.
466A? Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 3 6s, really?
Yep.
That's crazy. So any creations that he has is alphabetically organized, I guess. A, B,
yeah,
C.
I think from what I saw, I think they're all referred to as A, and then sometimes they have like different numbers behind them or something like that. But yeah, it's all like 4666, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. But this fingerprint was found preserved in dried blood recovered on SCP-4666A instance dating from 1873. The fingerprints' present characteristics are not known to occur in any human beings. Human-like white hairs were also recovered from locations of several now I forgot to say it. Vinsnatch. Weissnatch?
Weissnach. There we go. That's the one.
Weissnach events, though no DNA, human or otherwise, could be extracted from them. One example of Weissnach events occurred on February 1st, 2018, where several Yule Man instances were discovered at a family's residence in Hoona, Alaska, following the conclusion of a Weissnach event, or Weissnach event number 060198. So this is just a case number for this. Among these instances, SCP-4666-A-0960, so this is a different item made by him, which consisted of a crude, life-size doll made from the emaciated body of a female child, to which the following modifications had been made. A dress made from various pieces of dirty, discolored clothing had been sewn around the body, several places into the skin. The mouth had been sewn shut with thread made from human tendons. The lips painted red with a solution consisting primarily of human blood. The fingernails of another child had been glued over the body's fingernails with pine resin.
Oh.
And these had been painted red with the same blood-based solution. 3 of the body's fingers were missing. The entire scalp had been removed from the head, and the scalp of another child with long blonde hair had been sewn on in its place. The hair had been tied into 2 braids. Both eyes had been removed, and 2 large round pebbles in which eyes had been crudely painted had been placed into the empty eye sockets. Upon examination by the family, the child from whom the doll had been made was found to be still alive, though unconscious. So this doll that all this shit happened to was alive. This girl's alive. Authorities were notified, and the child was airlifted to Bartlett Regional Hospital in Wanay, Alaska, where she survived for just 18 hours. Upon death, DNA testing revealed that the subject had been a Katerina Morzova, age 7, a known abduction victim of the Yule Man, taken from her family residence in Dobakova, Russia, in 2016. So 2 years earlier. Autopsy of the subject's body showed that she had been severely malnourished during the 2 years following her abduction, which had resulted in considerable stunting in weight and size, so she looked younger than she was. A number of scars and burns were present on her skin, and she suffered 2 bone fractures to her left tibia and left ulna. Ulna? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Ulna, yeah. I know that
had not
of
been
bones.
Nice. I don't know bones very well.
I know that because of bones.
Bones.
Because bones. Oh, man.
Good job, Bones. Good job, show.
Oh, man.
But these fractures had not been reset and healed properly. Oh, my goodness. My cat just screamed.
I heard.
Her hands were heavily calloused, and the cause of death was attributed to multiple organ failure resulting from severe sustained malnutrition.
Bro. He said bro.
So as you can see, the Yule Man is especially fucked up, torturous SCP, and you never know which direction he's going to go when he breaks into your home. You don't know if he's going to murder you or leave you some really fucked up gifts or just kidnap your kids. And Yule Man, due to his highly unpredictable teleportation abilities, has yet to be captured. So unlike a lot of SCPs that are contained or captured, he has not been contained or captured by the SCP
that means
Corporation.
he's not a CP then. He's just an S.
Well,
Oh,
no,
he's just an
actually,
S.
he is technically an SCP subject. However, he is one of, I want to say,
So many. I love every time
200
Meso.
SCPs that haven't been captured because they cannot be captured.
Yeah.
I actually
Yep.
really enjoy whenever Meso talks. Like, she got into this, and I'm really all for it. Yokais and SCPs, Meso is all about it. I love it.
Oh yes, I love it. They're so interesting. But because of his teleportation, he has not been captured. But the SCP Foundation monitors web traffic and law enforcement channels worldwide for evidence of Yule Man activity, and particularly for cases of stalking or reports of anomalous phenomena involving families with young children. Should a Vaishnak event be suspected to be in progress, the nearest containment task force is dispatched in an attempt to contain, but has yet to be successful. And that, my beautiful ghouls, is the horror that is the Yule Man, or SCP-4666. Merry Christmas in January.
Wow. I
Mhm.
like that. That was gory. That was dark. That was scary. And you know me and creepy dolls. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And I think, oh man, I think he's
Brutal.
my favorite that you've covered so far, to be honest. As fucked up as it is, I think he's really cool.
No, he's very interesting.
He's so interesting. Okay, that like he's bad, obviously, but like he's the most. He's
Oh God,
just,
yes.
Oh,
wow, he is just
oh, there are
crazy
so many
interesting.
SCPs. There
I
are so many
know.
SCPs
So
reacting
far,
video.
we've learned about the shy guy, and then we learned about Yule, and then is what's the one that oh God, sorry,
The
guys.
old man.
Oh, the old man.
The old man, but there was one more, and I don't know. Was it an SCP? It's the one that Kate covered and is seen as a tulpa. Hold on. What episode was that for us? The one that
Are
we
you
had.
talking about Slender Man?
No.
Because I covered the rake, and some people say he's an SCP, but
Rake is SCP adjacent.
yeah,
Hold on, you guys. I will find
there's
the
so
name.
many though.
But I don't know if he's an SCP or if he's just, hold on, let me look at our
A
podcast real
spooky
quickly.
guy.
Let's see
Well, I
if
certainly know what I'm going to be
Because then
doing
we've
for our
had
next
so much.
SCP for the next podcast.
are you gonna do an SCP? They're really cool. They really are so freaking cool.
I love them.
I'm just gonna
They're
go
like
down the
amazing.
list of my favorite SCPs at this point. I have a
Well,
list
you're
of
gonna
favorite
have to
SCPs.
start talking to Meso because she also likes the SCPs. So it's the
them.
one that Kate covered, and it was mentioned as a tulpa in Epic's episode. What was his name?
Oh,
Wait, is he the sad guy? What is he?
I know this.
Why can't I remember his name right now?
My brain.
Indrid
I
Cold.
say,
Is
especially now
Indrid
you said
Cold?
Epic.
Is Indrid Cold SCP?
Not that I know of.
No, I don't think so.
Why did I think he was an SCP? No,
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Indrid Cold, aka the
crossover.
Smiling Man, is not an official SCP. But
No,
I feel
yeah.
like he would belong in the SCP category. But that's
Yeah.
just me.
His lore is very reminiscent of a lot of SCPs. So I can
Yeah,
get
that's
that.
why. That's why
Absolutely.
when you were talking about it, I'm like, I thought that Indrid Cold was an SCP, but maybe not. One thing I did notice in my little searching of this, because I was trying to find like a gory picture of the doll with the description it is, I just wanted to see the doll. And part of me's like, is it supposed to look like Sally? I don't know. But I found out that Minecraft made a modification for the Yule Man. So there's a Minecraft Slenderman, there's a Minecraft
that one I knew.
There's quite a few SCPs in Minecraft, actually. Like, I was kind of surprised.
I knew about Slenderman, but I didn't know that they had multiple different ones. But that also doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
SCPs are very popular. There's some games that are they're SCP games that I want to play. I feel like the Backrooms, it's pretty much an SCP thing.
The Backrooms is SCP adjacent. It's the same thing with a lot of like the rake and stuff like that.
Yes.
Those SCP adjacent things typically they're spawned from the love of SCP, but the originality of them comes from like the Something Awful forums or stuff like that.
Right.
There's quite a few of those that I absolutely adore. But can I just mention like my favorite SCP because it's a joke and it's not it's a joke SCP
Yeah,
and it's
do
super
it.
short.
Yeah.
It is a formerly anomalous apple that somehow could teleport, that broke into the
I know
SCP
this
Foundation and was just terrorizing all of the doctors because an apple a day keeps a doctor away.
I was about to say,
That's so
an
funny.
apple a day keeps the doctor away. Oh my
It is
goodness. That is
Yeah, there's a lot of
funny.
SCPs that aren't even like necessarily dangerous or scary. There's a lot of them that are just are.
Yeah.
Ooh, I might have to talk about the IKEA, the SCP IKEA.
Ooh, the IKEA's a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well,
I already know exactly what the next one I'm going to talk about is.
you guys know that we have no more
Ooh.
pre-recordings of Spooky Slumber Party, so Meso, I'm gonna have you in the Spooky Slumber Party, and I think we're gonna try and pull John unless John doesn't have a topic for it. And if not, then we'll pull Birdie in for some more of our Spooky Slumber Party. Since we published all of the ones that we recorded, there are 7 Spooky Slumber Parties,
Stupid
you guys.
plague.
7 Spooky Slumber Parties. They're all on Spotify, and they're all in their own playlists on
Yes.
YouTube. Their own playlists on YouTube. So you've got the podcast on our YouTube that has the Ghoulish Bites and the regular episodes, but I actually put a separate category specifically for the Spooky Slumber Party because they are related, but they're also very, very much different. And I personally do enjoy the Spooky Slumber Parties because it gives us a different vibe, a different feel. So please give us a listen. We've covered a lot of things. We've covered me reviewing a YouTube video called Psycho, The Very Large Family. We've covered the Kentucky meat showers. We covered
Oh my gosh.
Paul Bunyan. I covered the Dream Catchers and the Spider Goddess. I also, what else did we cover? We the Great Filter, very important. I feel like it's relevant for what's happening right now. I also talk about the Schumann resonance for one of them too. So there's a lot of it's a mixture of random weird shit. Like it's the home for the topics that we don't feel like fit in this part of the podcast. So the Spooky Slumber Party. So the Spooky Slumber Party usually has those topics that we can discuss. Some of them are normal topics like this, but most of them are things that we probably would not have for here, or they're too short for a full podcast episode, so they're a Spooky Slumber Party. So yeah, so that's what the Spooky Slumber Parties are. So they're all available on YouTube as of Sunday. I think all 7 will be on YouTube as of Sunday. All of them should be on Spotify Saturday. So there's one missing, which is episode 7, which is missing from both, but that will be published this weekend. So go ahead, give them a listen, please. We're going to go ahead and take our last break for the night, and then we're going to go and move on to the Ghoulish Bites. So hang in there, you guys. We'll be right back. We're just going to take a quick breaker. I'm going to run to the ladies' room and get some more water, and we'll go and continue on to our Ghoulish Bites. So we'll see you guys really soon. We'll stay thick.
And you stay spooky.